Hello friends, everything is changing very quickly in Poland. In this video, we'll talk about why Poles are cracking down on Ukrainians, what can now simply get you arrested or deported, where the former solidarity of European cities has gone, and why fights have already started between young people, Poles and Ukrainians. A complete and tough analysis of the situation. Watch the video until the end. Please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Huge thanks to everyone who's generous with their support. Simple actions take just 2 seconds. Thank you to each of you for your support. Yes, friends, let me remind you that TransferGo is the best money transfer service. Send money to your loved ones and relatives. Support them whenever you can. Yes, as part of the comment bait, please write the city you're watching from. It's important. And let us know what the temperature is where you are right now. It's 33 here now. If it's hotter where you are, come cool off. To help the video, comment, like, and ask why the bald guy isn't at the front. Now let's get to business. Part 1 of our video is a live stream that could get you 3 years yes about how a word on the internet led to a jail cell in Zielona Góra. The digital space and the illusion of impunity. Something for some of my haters to keep in mind. In Poland, a 36-year-old Ukrainian citizen, a young guy, was detained. And actually, why did he attract the attention of law enforcement agencies? He was doing some kind of stream, an online broadcast, where, according to the investigation, the man made harsh, very harsh statements about the current president of the country, King Nawrocki, may his days be long. The criminal investigation officers from Zielona Góra acted skillfully. They identified the person, tracked down his location, and detained the citizen right at his workplace. Interestingly, yes, not during the stream, but at work. At the prosecutor's office, the detainee was charged under articles classified as threats and insults against a constitutional body of the Republic of Poland. He said something on the stream, but no one knows what. Maybe it really was something that allegedly threatened King Nawrocki's life. And the penalty under such an article is up to 3 years of imprisonment. Can you imagine? The guy could get 3 years. And the situation is made worse purely by procedural nuances because, well, according to the investigation they write, he doesn't have permanent registration in the country, meaning a Melden Extali. Although it's kind of not mandatory, but they say, you don't have it, buddy. And the residence card has already expired. Of course, the story doesn't say whether this guy applied or not. Did he apply for a new residence card or just forget about it? It's unclear. I wonder if this argument will be raised. Why do your authorities take 2 years to issue cards? That's why I don't have a residence card. In short, law enforcement saw a flight risk and decided to arrest him immediately. So a live stream on social media can easily turn into a real chance to get acquainted with the Polish prison system. That's how it is, friends. I always mention in my videos that King Nawrocki, may his deeds endure, is in fact the very best president in Poland's entire history. Write it down, write down these words. Well, in general, write in the comments what you think this is. A natural result of legal illiteracy in the internet age, or a demonstrative punishment to show the power of the state apparatus. Write what you think in the comments. Yes, just be polite, because as you can see, now you can get 3 years for a document. Let's see how this ends. Next. Part 2, a domestic conflict, a nighttime incident at the Bay. I think it's called Lubianski or something like that. Let's move to the city of Starochowice, where an interethnic light discussion moved from the verbal phase to a purely physical one. By the way, Usyk has ended his career. Well, not ended, but gave up his belts. There will be one more fight, a money fight. According to press reports, at 9 p.m. there was a mass brawl involving young people, citizens of Poland and Ukraine. It all started with a minor verbal misunderstanding on Yuzhnaya Street, and then it turned into a fist fight. The climax came when one of the participants pulled out some kind of sharp tool, whether it was an awl or a knife was unknown, and injured his opponent. It took the intervention of several police units and an ambulance crew, who hospitalized the injured person. The local police department is now conducting an investigation, questioning witnesses, and trying to legally determine the exact role of each participant in this nighttime drama. Well, what do you think? Is this connected to those statements about the vice? With all this tension, do you think it's related or not? In my opinion, there is a clear increase in everyday tension, and this is a consequence of the ongoing general crisis plus, of course, ordinary crime, which sometimes shouldn't be linked to passports, because some people are just looking for trouble for no particular reason. Let's beat up these guys and then realize they're Ukrainians. That happens too. I'm waiting for your comments. Next, the third point. The economy of compassion and the cynicism of politics. Polish cities are shutting down programs for children. There you go. I believe this news deserves special attention because, first of all, these are Ukrainian children, and bourgeois cynicism is showing itself in all its glory. The mayor of Ivano-Frankivsk, Ruslan Marcinkiv, stated that the number of Polish cities willing to accept Ukrainian children for rest and recuperation has dropped to a minimum. Priority for these trips was always given to children of soldiers from the 102nd and Territorial Defense Brigade who were killed or missing, but the Polish side has now shut the whole thing down. Share your thoughts in the comments. Well, in my opinion, there is definitely some cynicism in this situation because back in 2022, when it was necessary to demonstrate transatlantic unity and do nice photo shoots for European media, children's recreation programs were being funded and opened in large numbers. 4 years later, the agenda shifted. Ukrainians are viewed negatively and economic interests now dominate. Market disputes and old grievances have resurfaced. Humanitarianism is gone, children suffer, and capitalism shows no mercy. If a project no longer brings any political dividends, it gets shut down, even if we're talking about children whose parents, let's say, died on the front lines. Ivano-Frankivsk must now find ways to contact Hungary and the Baltic countries to resolve this issue. It's an astonishing metamorphosis of society. Where has the former solidarity gone, and why did European humanism stumble so quickly over political expediency? Well, what can you do? It's tough for everyone right now. In my opinion, it's definitely not a good look. Write your opinion in the comments. So also, we have a fourth point. Let's sum up everything that's been happening. Let's talk about double standards. A very interesting legal analysis was published by the journalist from Gazeta Wyborcza, Mr. Michał Alszewski. He pointed out how selectively and at what different speeds the wheels of Polish justice turn. Let's look at the facts. In Zakopane, an Australian citizen was caught riding a quad bike along the natural trails of the Tatra National Park, scaring tourists and so on. They settled it quickly, 2,000 zlotys, and you can't drive in Poland for 6 months. It's just, purely an administrative matter. And now let's look at similar offenses committed by Ukrainian citizens. Similar in terms of public danger. Let's call it danger. We're coming back to the same topic. We seem to have moved on from it recently, but as they say, here we go again. The Ukrainian blogger, the one who drove a Corvette to the sea bass, he was deported and received a 5-year ban on entering Poland. Another Ukrainian citizen is catching catfish in the Gokwa district of Warsaw, and during the ban period, he also gets deported and a 5-year ban on entry. As you can see, it's not just me saying this, a Polish journalist said it. Otherwise, you'll start commenting right away. There you go. For a simple jump over the fence at a Coors concert, an 18-year-old Ukrainian girl was also deported, and the journalist calls this double standards. He says that the Polish law enforcement system, when passing verdicts on Ukrainians, is increasingly guided only by the color of the passport and the dry letter of the law. And of course, by the current public mood inside the country. In short, the fortune tellers are happy, rubles are flowing, rubles are pouring in like a river, everything is great. Друзья? Alright, bait for comments. What, there's a legal incident here at the same time. For the same violation, the Australian gets a fine and the Ukrainian gets deported for 5 years. What do you think this is? Fair protection of national interests or selective justice? Write in the comments. Alright, and we have another such specific case. We've already talked in general terms about general trends, but there's something else interesting here. And it's telling that this is one of those stories that actually makes it to the press, because a lot of things never do. The attack in Gliwice. This is the Silesian Voivodeship in the city of Gliwice. A 46-year-old local resident has been taken into custody for 3 months. A meeting was taking place on the grounds of some recreational area. Citizens of Poland and Ukraine were relaxing there, and the suspect, who is now already a suspect, approached the group while intoxicated. He said something like, "Go back to Ukraine," and mentioned Ukrainians. In short, according to the official report, he used foul language and shouted insults based on nationality. I think you can guess what he was shouting, and after he was asked to leave, like, "You get out yourself," the man was persistent. He came back wearing a balaclava. It's not clear why. The country should know its heroes. Why did he need a balaclava? And with a baseball bat, but without a glove and without any balls. After that, he inflicted moderate bodily harm on another man, a 46-year-old citizen of Ukraine. The officers quickly detained him and seized the weapon. Naturally, he won't be deported. The Criminal Investigations Unit is now handling the case. The suspect has already been charged with causing injuries and public insult based on nationality, and if his guilt is proven, he faces up to 5 years in prison. The process has started. It seems like the law is working, but let's wait for the verdict. I have some doubts that he will actually serve time. Law enforcement, well, it's good that they reacted at all, yes. But write in the comments what you think. Will this lead to a real sentence? Maybe even the maximum one? Or will the defense get the sentence reduced? I think it will be reduced. So friends, what's happening? If we put all these markers together, the picture that emerges is quite unpleasant. There is no idealism in interstate legal relations. The legal system of any state is a tool in the hands of the ruling class, which responds sensitively to the political course and the structure of the electorate. While some citizens are doing foolish things on the internet or breaking phishing regulations, not realizing that the situation has changed, and they don't understand because they're not subscribed to my channel and have no idea what's going on. The machinery of law begins to work with double force, and it clearly demonstrates that what was before is now gone. That's how the crackdown is sweeping through right now, so be careful, my friends. So, on this note, I wish you all good health and peaceful skies. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones. That's all for now, until we meet again.